All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're taking a deep dive into the world of AI-powered customer communication with EngagiVOICE.
Yeah, this stuff is pretty wild.
We've got a whole stack of marketing materials and a really interesting case study about how RV dealerships are using this tech.
It could be a game changer, seriously, for any business, really.
The thing that jumps out at me, though, is how EngageVoice is going way beyond just automating calls.
Yeah, it's not just like, pushing buttons and getting a robot voice.
Right. It's like injecting some actual engagement into every interaction.
You got it.
And that's true whether it's happening on the phone or even like right on a company's website, right?
Yeah, think of it this way. Instead of getting those robotic voices and endless phone menus,
Ah, the worst.
EngageVoice uses AI to create these interactions, but they sound and feel human.
So wait, I can finally say goodbye to press 1 for sales.
Pretty much.
Hallelujah.
So, no more robotic voices, no more of those crazy, endless phone menus. Exactly. It's all about using AI to make those interactions feel, like you're talking to a real person.
I'm liking this already. But how does this AI actually learn how to talk to customers in a way that actually works?
Okay, so it starts with this deep dive into your business. Like, EngageVOICE will crawl through your website, check out your Google business profile, even go through reviews and articles to build up this whole understanding of what your company's all about.
It's like it's doing all that research for you, right?
Exactly. And then on top of that, you can even upload like brochures, training manuals, FAQs, basically anything with useful info. The more it knows, the better it can handle those customer questions.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But hold on a sec, what about control? I mean, I wouldn't want an AI just saying whatever it wants, especially if it's supposed to be representing my brand.
And that's where the guardrails come in. You actually get to set these parameters, these kind of like boundaries to make sure the AI stays on brand and follows the messaging you want.
Okay, so it's not totally running wild.
Nope. You're in control.
Gotcha. So I can tell, what topics to focus on, stuff to avoid.
Yep. And even set those points where the AI knows, okay, this is getting too complex for me. Time to hand it over to a human.
Right. So it's not about replacing humans altogether. It's more like it's giving them a super helpful tool.
Exactly. EngageVOICE becomes this really efficient assistant, handling the routine things and figuring out which leads are worth pursuing so your human team can focus on the stuff that actually needs their expertise.
Okay, now that's a huge time saver, especially for businesses that are drowning in calls or get those annoying after-hours inquiries.
Totally. And just think about the cost savings there. No more overtime pay for those late-night calls or weekend coverage.
Right, because the AI is always working.
Always working, always on brand.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's get into some real-world examples here. This executive summary on RV dealerships sounds like a perfect case study.
Oh, it totally is. It's
Yeah.
like they took all the common challenges that businesses face, missed calls, slow response times, websites that are just clunky to use.
Oh, tell me about it.
And they laid out exactly how EngageVOICE tackles each one of them.
So the lessons here, I mean, they could apply to just about anyone looking to improve how they communicate with customers, right?
Right on. The RV dealership is just a starting point.
All right, I'm all ears. Walk me through how EngageVoice could actually transform, the whole RV dealership experience.
Okay, so let's start with those missed calls. Picture this a potential customer calls after hours, or maybe it's just super busy.
Yep.
Instead of getting hit with voicemail or being stuck on hold forever, EngageVOICE picks up right away.
That's a good start.
And it actually engages them, like a real person would.
So this AI can actually handle questions about, specific RVs, what's in stock, financing options, all that.
Absolutely. It's been trained on all the dealership's info, so it can give accurate answers right there, in real time.
Wow.
It can even pre-qualify the caller for financing, so the sales team knows they're dealing with someone serious when they follow up.
Okay, that right there is a huge efficiency boost. No more playing phone tag or wasting time on people who aren't actually ready to buy.
Exactly.
But what about the folks who'd rather browse online? I know I do a ton of research on company websites before I even think about picking up the phone.
And that's where the website integration comes in. So instead of just passively reading through a website,
Right.
visitors can have a voice conversation with the AI right there on the page.
Hold on. My website can actually talk to people now.
Think of it like this. You land on a website, and instead of hunting around for info or filling out a contact form,
Which, let's be honest, nobody really likes doing.
you can just ask your questions out loud and get instant answers, personalized recommendations, even schedule appointments.
It's like having a super knowledgeable salesperson available around the clock.
Exactly. And it makes the whole experience so much smoother.
But what about the voice itself? I mean, does it sound, robotic or unnatural? That could actually scare people away, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. That's why EngageVOICE gives you so much control over how the AI sounds. Remember those customization features?
Yeah.
You get to choose the accent, the tone, even inject a little personality to match your brand.
So it's not just about efficiency, it's about making that first impression really count.
Exactly, and making it feel human.
Okay, I'm liking what I'm hearing. But how does this actually work behind the scenes?
The tech is super complex, but the basics are pretty straightforward. The AI gets trained on a massive amount of data. That includes, how language works, specific industry knowledge, and then your company's own unique information, too.
So it can actually understand what people are asking and give intelligent answers, not just spit out some pre-programmed response.
Right. And the coolest part is it keeps learning and getting better over time.
Okay, that's impressive. But couldn't there be some downsides to handing so much over to AI? What if it, like, malfunctions or gives out bad info?
Totally valid concerns. But EngageVOICE is built to be super reliable. It has these backup systems in place to minimize downtime, so it's always there when you need it.
Good to know. But even if it's working perfectly, couldn't the whole customer experience start to feel, I don't know, kind of impersonal?
That's a fair point, but that's where the customization comes in again. You can give the AI a personality, teach it to use humor or empathy at the right times.
So it's not just about replacing human interaction, it's about finding that balance.
Exactly. And remember, human agents are always there in the background. If things get too tricky for the AI, or if a customer specifically wants to talk to a person, it can hand off the conversation seamlessly.
That makes sense. So it's really about giving businesses the flexibility to choose the level of AI that works best for them.
You got it. And let's not forget about the employees themselves. This technology could actually make their jobs more enjoyable too.
How's
By taking care of those routine tasks and the after-hours stuff, it frees up human staff to focus on the more interesting and rewarding parts of their work. The stuff that actually uses their skills and expertise.
That's a great point. It's not just about customer satisfaction, it's about creating a better environment for everyone involved.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
This is fascinating stuff, seriously.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing what AI can do these days.
We've covered a lot, but I'm ready to go even deeper into that RV dealership case study. I want to see how EngageVOICE is actually playing out in the real world.
Let's do it. That executive summary we've got is packed with insights about how this tech is changing the game for RV dealerships.
Awesome. Let's get into it.
All right, so let's jump into that RV world and really see how EngageVOICE is shaking things up for dealerships.
Yeah, I got to admit, the whole idea of a website that can actually talk to you is pretty mind-blowing.
It is, right? It's like those old school contact us forms are suddenly ancient history.
Totally. So paint me a picture here. What's the typical RV shopper doing these days?
Okay, so they're online, right? They're doing research, comparing models, trying to figure out financing, all that stuff.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming.
Totally. And a lot of times it just leads to frustration because they can't get answers right away.
Oh, 100%. Who hasn't spent hours clicking through websites or waiting on hold just to talk to a real person?
Exactly, and that's what EngageVOICE solves. So picture this. Someone lands on a dealership's website, but instead of just reading a bunch of text and specs, they're greeted by this friendly, engaging voice.
Okay, I like where this is going.
They can actually ask questions out loud, like, what's the towing capacity on this model? Or do you guys offer financing for first-time buyers? And they get instant answers.
Wow, so it's like having a virtual RV expert right there on the website. No more waiting for business hours or hoping someone will answer your email.
Exactly. And because of that instant engagement, you're way more likely to capture that lead.
Right, because they're not just going to click away out of frustration.
Yep. The AI can guide them through the whole research process, make personalized recommendations, even pre-qualify them for financing, all while building rapport and trust.
That's so much more efficient than the traditional back and forth. But what about those customers who still prefer to pick up the phone? I mean, some people, especially when they're making a big purchase like an RV, they want that human connection, right?
Oh, for sure. And EngageVOICE doesn't get rid of that option at all. It actually makes it better. Remember, the AI can handle all those routine calls, things like after-hours inquiries or basic questions about inventory.
So the human staff can focus on the stuff that really matters.
Exactly. No more scrambling to cover the phones during those crazy busy times or missing out on valuable leads because everyone's tied up.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So it's a win-win for both the dealership and the customer.
Absolutely.
But let's get specific. What are some of the biggest challenges that RV dealerships face, and how does EngageVoice actually tackle them?
All right, so one of the biggest headaches is just managing the sheer volume of calls. A lot of RV dealerships, they have limited staff, and during peak season, those phones are ringing off the hook.
I can imagine.
So that leads to missed calls, long wait times, and let's be honest, frustrated customers.
And in today's world, if you don't answer that call quickly, they're probably moving on to the next dealership.
Yep, and that's where Engage Voice steps in. It acts like this virtual receptionist, answering every single call right away, giving a professional greeting, making sure no lead slips through the cracks.
Okay, I'm liking this.
And it can answer those basic questions, route calls to the right department, even schedule appointments, all without a human having to lift a finger.
So it's like having a whole team of super efficient receptionists who never take breaks or call in sick.
You got it. And that 24/7 availability, that's a big deal in the RV industry where competition is fierce.
Totally. What about qualifying leads? I've heard that's a huge challenge for RV dealerships.
Yeah, salespeople often spend way too much time chasing down prospects who aren't even serious about buying.
Right, which is a total waste of time and resources.
Exactly. And Engage Voice solves that problem too. The AI can ask pre-qualifying questions like, what's your budget? What features are you looking for? What's your timeline for buying?
Oh, so it weeds out the tire kickers.
Exactly. It can even tap into the dealership's CRM, see if the caller has a purchase history or any outstanding inquiries.
It's like having a virtual gatekeeper that only lets the most promising leads through to the sales team.
That's a great way to put it. And not only does this save time and resources, but it also makes the customer experience better.
Because those qualified leads are getting connected to the right person right away.
Exactly. And even those who aren't quite ready to buy, they can still get their questions answered and you can nurture them for the future.
Smart. So it's about making every interaction count, whether it leads to a sale today or builds a relationship for down the road.
Absolutely. And we can't forget about the post-sale experience either. RV dealerships, they often struggle to keep up with service appointments, parts orders, all those follow-up communications.
It's easy to drop the ball there.
It is. And that can lead to frustrated customers and negative reviews, which no business wants.
Especially in the age of online reviews, that could really hurt a dealership's reputation.
Oh, for sure. But EngageVoice can actually automate a lot of those post-sale tasks, sending service reminders, confirming appointments, providing status updates, even proactively reaching out to see how satisfied the customer is.
Just like having a personal assistant for every customer, making sure they feel valued and taken care of.
Precisely. And that kind of attention, it goes a long way in driving repeat business and getting those word-of-mouth referrals.
Okay, so we've covered incoming calls, website engagement, and streamlining those post-sale communications. But what about outbound calls? Is there a place for EngageVoice there too?
Absolutely. It can handle all sorts of outbound communication tasks like appointment reminders, following up on online inquiries, even personalized marketing campaigns.
Oh, wow. So it can actually make those calls too.
Yep, and it delivers the message in a natural, engaging voice. No more of those robotic-sounding calls we all hate.
So goodbye to those. This is an important message from calls.
You got it. EngageVoice makes outbound communication feel more personal and less intrusive, which means people are more likely to respond and be happy about it.
I'm seeing how this technology could totally change the way RV dealerships do business. But let's talk about some of the concerns people might have. I mean, not everyone's going to be comfortable handing so much control over to AI, right?
Right. I think one of the biggest worries is that it'll make things feel impersonal or robotic.
Yeah, especially when it comes to customer service.
Yeah. But remember all those customization options we talked about. Dealerships can really fine-tune the AI's voice, personality, even its sense of humor to match their brand and connect with their customers.
So it's not about replacing human interaction entirely. It's about finding that sweet spot where efficiency and personalization meet.
Exactly. And plus, you can always bring human agents back into the mix if you need to. If the AI hits a snag or a customer just really wants to talk to a real person, it can hand off the conversation smoothly.
That's good to know. What about that fear of losing control?
I get that. But EngageVoice is actually designed to be super transparent. Dealerships can see exactly what the AI is doing, monitor conversations in real time, and adjust those guardrails we talked about anytime they want.
Okay, so it's not like you set it and forget it. You're still in the driver's seat.
Exactly. And the data that EngageVoice collects is incredibly valuable too. Every interaction, every question, every response, it's all recorded and analyzed.
So dealerships can actually learn from every interaction.
Yep. They get these amazing insights into customer behavior, preferences, pain points.
It's like having a built-in market research team working around the clock.
That's a great way to think about it. And by analyzing call transcripts, website interactions, all that data, dealerships can identify trends, spot potential problems, and come up with strategies to stay ahead of the game.
This is amazing. It's not just about automating tasks, it's about using that data to make smarter decisions and constantly improve the business.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So we've covered how EngagiVOICE is transforming the RV dealership experience from that initial contact all the way through to post-sale follow-up. But I'm curious to get your take on the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
How do you see EngageVoice shaping the future of customer service in general?
Well, I think we're moving towards a world where every interaction with a business is personalized, efficient, and data-driven.
And where customers can get what they need without having to jump through hoops or wait on hold forever.
Right, and EngageVOICE is leading the way, showing businesses how to create this more human-centered approach to customer service, even as technology becomes a bigger part of the picture.
This has been eye-opening, seriously.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
I feel like we've just scratched the surface of what EngageVoice can do. But let's talk about the bottom line now. How much does all this cost? And what kind of return on investment can businesses realistically expect?
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. How much does this EngageVoice technology actually cost? And what kind of ROI can businesses really expect to see?
That's the question, right? I mean, it all sounds amazing, but is it affordable? Well, the good news is EngageVOICE has a bunch of different pricing options, different tiers to fit businesses of all sizes.
Oh, okay, so it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing?
Nope. They've got packages for small companies, medium-sized businesses, large enterprises. So you basically choose the plan that works for your call volume, how many of those AI agents you need, and what level of support you're looking for.
Makes sense.
Mm.
Because not every business is going to have the same budget or needs, right?
Right. And when you start thinking about all the money EngageVOICE can save you, it gets really interesting.
Okay, break that down for me.
Well, think about traditional customer service.
Yeah.
You've got salaries for all those agents, benefits, training costs, office space, the list goes on and on.
It adds up fast.
Oh, yeah. But EngageVOICE can slash those overhead costs significantly.
Okay.
It's like having a team of super efficient virtual agents who never take breaks, never need time off, never ask for a raise.
Right, because the AI is always working.
Always on, always ready to go. And because the AI can handle all those routine tasks and figure out which leads are actually worth pursuing, your human employees can focus on the stuff that really brings in the money.
So it's not just about cutting costs, it's about maximizing revenue too.
You got it. And we can't forget about the customer experience either. Happy customers are loyal customers, and they're the ones who tell their friends about your business.
Word of mouth is the best advertising.
It really is. And because EngageVOICE can provide that instant, personalized service, it can really boost customer satisfaction.
Which leads to more business and good reviews.
Exactly. And those things are priceless. You can't really put a dollar amount on that kind of brand loyalty.
Totally agree. So when you factor in all those benefits, the customer satisfaction, the brand reputation, even things like employee morale because everyone's less stressed, the ROI starts to look really, really good.
Exactly. It's a game changer.
Well, this has been an incredibly insightful look into EngageVOICE. We've covered a lot, but I think it's time for that final thought-provoking question, something to leave our listeners with. As AI becomes more and more sophisticated, especially in the customer service realm, what are some of the ethical considerations we need to be thinking about?
That's a great question. I think it all comes down to finding that balance between efficiency and the human touch. We need to make sure we're using this technology responsibly in a way that benefits everyone.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into EngageVOICE. We'll see you next time.